Hello everyone, in this video we are going to solve a Leetcode problem called short colors. So the problem is like this, that you have been given an array consisting of 0, 1 and 2, and you have to sort this array in such a way that all the zeros are at the beginning, then followed by all the ones, then the twos. But the catch is you do not have to use the sort function provided by any library in any language for that matter. Now let's look about how to solve this problem. We'll look at the algorithm, then we'll implement this. So suppose this is the array consisting of zeros and ones and twos. The easiest way to do this would be the sort function, but as we know, this is not allowed as per the question, and also the time complexity would be of n log n, and we can really do much better than this. Another method to solve this would be like to count the number of zeros, the number of ones, and the number of twos, and then put them back into the place. What I mean is, if I have three variables, A which is counting the number of zeros, and B which is counting the number of ones, C which is counting the number of twos, we can just iterate over this array and increase the value of A whenever we get a 0, increase the value of B whenever we get a 1, and increase the value of C when we get a 2. So for example, if I iterate over this array and I'm at this position, I am seeing a 0, I'll put the value of A as 1, then again I'll move to the next position and I see the value 0, then again I'll increase the value of A by 1. Now in the next position I see 1, so I'll increase the value of B by 1. In the next position I see a 0, then I'll increase the value of A. Again I see a 0, I increase the value of A by 1. I see a 2, so I increase the value of C by 1. I see a 1 again, then that means I have to increase B. I see a 2, which means I'm increasing the value of C by 1. So once you iterate over the array, you find the value of A as 4, B as 2, and C as 2, which means you have 4 zeros, 2 ones, and 2 twos, and you can simply put them back into the array. So once again you iterate over this array. First you move till fourth position and put all the values as 1. Put all the values as 0, because the value of A is 4, so you will put 4 zeros here, and then you put 2 ones because the value of B is 2, and then you put 2 twos because the value of C is 2. So this is what you'll get. So the time complexity of this solution is order of n, and space complexity is also constant because you are always maintaining these three variables. And one thing that you did in this solution is that you passed over this array 2 times, first to count the number of zeros, ones, and twos, and then you iterated again to set the values at respective positions in the array. So you passed over the array 2 times. The interviewer might ask you to do it in a single pass. Let's see how we can do that. So the algorithm to do this would be like this. You have a function which takes an array A, and this array is containing zeros, ones, and twos. So you iterate over the array and you maintain 3 pointers called mid, low, both of which will be 0, and another one is high, which will be equal to length of the array. Let's call it 1. Now what you do is you have to iterate over the array, and what we will do is we will see while mid is less than equal to high, and we can check if the value of a at mid equal to 0, then what we do is we increase the value of mid by 1, value of low by 1, and we before doing that we have to swap the values of mid and low. Also, if the value of a at mid is 1, we just increase the counter of mid by 1. We'll also see an example if this is not clear. Else means the value of a at mid is 2. Then what we'll do, we'll swap a at mid with a at high, and decrease the value of high here. So this is the algorithm. Let's take an example to see if it makes sense. So let's take the example given in Leetcode 202110. So let it be 202110. Right. So we keep 3 pointers. This would be my low, and this is mid, and this is high. Now the assumption is all the values before low would be 0, and all the values after high would be 2, and we're gonna swap between mid and low and mid and high accordingly. We'll see what I mean by that. So let's start. The first value is 2, and as per our algorithm, if the first value is 2, we are gonna swap the value of mid by value of high. So the array will become, let me create this array here, the same number of positions. So at the beginning, you see here it was 2, it was 0, so we have to swap mid and high. So 0 comes at the beginning and 2 goes at the end, and you have to decrease the value of high by 1. So high comes here now. Notice you do not change the value of mid when you swap with high, but in case of in case of low, you have to increase the value of mid by 1 as well. Okay, let's move to the next one. So again, the value of mid now here is 0, and this is the, let me keep it as 0, and this is the final array. Now you have the value here as 0, so what you have to do is swap mid and low and increase mid and low respectively. So mid and low are at the same position, so swapping will again bring 0 here only. And then you have to increase the value of these pointers by 1. So I'll move low to here and mid to here. So you have 0 at the first position and 2 at the beginning. These positions are already shorted. And here again you see a 0. So again, mid and low will be swapped, which is at the same position. So the value of these pointers will again increase by 1. And this position also has 0, that is fixed. Now you see a value 2 here. So again this will be swapped with high. So 2 will be going at this position, 1 will come here, and the value of high pointer will be decreased by 1, so high is here. Now again you see 1 and 1. So when you see 1 at mid, you just increase the pointer of mid by 1. So mid pointer comes at this position. And again you see the value of area at mid is 1, then you just increase it. You see the pointer, mid pointer has crossed the high pointer, so we have to stop here, and the value at this position is again 1. Now I hope this is clear, and we're gonna look at the implementation. So let's implement with both the techniques. So first we're gonna count int a, which is 0, b, which is counting the number of 2's and number of 1's, and c, which is counting the number of 2's. Let's iterate over the nums array. I'm using a for each loop, and I'm checking if num is 0, then increase the value of a by 1. If num is 1, then increase the value of b, else increase the value of c. Once this is done, you have to just put the values into the array. So again you have to iterate over the array. So let's do this. Let's check while a is not 0, and also let me take a pointer to keep the track till which position in the array we have assigned some values. So while a is not 0, we are gonna assign the value at nums equal to 0. And since this is Java, where integers are not treated as booleans, you better do this. Or let me remove this so I can show you what error you will get. Now again you have to do similar thing for b. You have to traverse till the value of b is 0, and you have to assign the value of 1. And again you have to traverse till the c becomes 0. And I'm incrementing the value of I by 1, if you see here. And let's give it 2. So this is it. You do not have to return anything, because this is arrays are passed as reference. Let's try to run this code and see if we have any errors. I'm expecting an error here. Yep. So you see incompatible types int cannot be converted to boolean because Java treats uh, integers not as booleans, which is different in case of other languages like C or Python or C++. So let's make it a boolean. So you check while 0 is not equal to this. That's gonna do the job here. Could also check if it is greater than 0, but yeah, it's the same thing. Now let's run this and see if we have an error. We don't have an error, we can just submit it. Yep, this runs, and this runs in 0ms, faster than 100% of online Java submissions, and these are the memory uses. Now let's move on to the other type of solution using three pointers. So you see, right, here we had traversed over the array two times. First to count the number of ones, zeros, and twos, and then we set the values of 1, 0, and 2s in the array. Okay, now let's remove this. Now what we have to do is we have to take three pointers, which is low, mid, and high. The value of high would be nums dot length. I'll decrease it by 1 because it counts the length of the array, and the array indexing starts from 0. I misspelled length. Yeah, this looks good. Now what we have to do is we have to again iterate over the array. So I'll use a for okay, I better use a while loop, and I'll check the value. Sorry, I'll check if mid is less than equal to high. Unless this condition is fulfilled, we can iterate over the array as we discussed in the algorithm, right? And next I have to check these conditions. Here we have checked if the value of a mid at 0, we have to do this. If it is 1, we have to do something else. If it is neither of the two, we have to do this. So let's implement the same here. So if the value of nums at mid is equal to 0, what we had decided to do is we are gonna swap array at mid and low. We haven't defined a swap function here, which I'll do in some time. Let's try to write as the algorithm suggested, and we're gonna implement swap function later. And also we have to increase the value of mid pointer by 1 and the value of low pointer by 1. Else, if the value of nums at mid were 1, what we are supposed to do is just increase the value of mid by 1. No swapping required in this case. And again, there was an else condition, and here it means the value of nums at mid is 2. So what you have to do is you have to swap nums at mid and high, and also you have to decrease the value of high pointer by 1. So this looks good. All that is remaining is you have to define a swap function. which does not return anything because again it is our passed as reference. It will take nums array and it will take two positions, A and B, and let's try to swap it using the traditional method using a third variable. Low battery, and we have assigned the value of numsat A at temp, and we'll at numsat A we'll assign numsat B, and again at numsat B we are gonna assign the value of temp. So the swaps are two indexes, and then everything looks good. Let's try to run it and see if there's any error. Yep, it looks good. Let's try to submit it. Yep, the runtime is 1 millisecond, faster than 17.68% of online submissions. Okay. So yeah, this is it. I think we can improve this performance, but yeah, in terms of your runtime asymptotic complexity, this is it. I think this can mainly be increased by using switch case instead of if-else. Let's do it now for that matter. Let's see if it really helps. So instead of if, I'll do a switch numsat mid, and if the values are 0, you have to let me do this. I hope the brackets are fine. Yeah. So if the value of numsat mid is 0, what you have to do is you have to swap nums, and you have to pass mid. You have to increase the value of mid by 1. You have to increase the value of slow by 1. So these are postfix notations. So once it will pass these values in the array, and then it will increase the value of mid and low. And you do okay, I missed this case keyword here. Once this is done, you do a break. You do case 1, and here you have to just increase the value of mid by 1 and a break. Here you swap nums and mid and high, decreasing the value of high. Let's break here again. Let's run this to find if there is some compilation errors. Nope. Let's submit it. Okay, this did not improve much. What else we can do here? Let's try to do this incrementing outside the let's see if that helps. Yep, it is now giving some better results. But yeah, this
When you are implementing problems, don't worry much about this. This was a minor difference which produced these results.
But what you should take care is asymptotic time complexity, which is in the previous solution uh, was uh, was suitable for that. Uh, so that's more or less it for this video. Thanks guys for watching. If you like, please like, share, and subscribe. And write in the comments if you want to see something else in this channel. Thanks. That's it. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.